Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel where we share insights for whole person growth. If you're still caught in waves of sadness, envy, fear, or anger, if your mood is slipping and you don't know how to face these feelings, if you've made mistakes and regret words you spoke in anger, then today's book could be just what you need. I've tentatively titled it The Power of Emotions: Love, Anger, Joy. As the philosopher Wang Yangming once said, catching bandits on the mountain is easy. Catching the bandits in your own heart is the real challenge. By bandits in your heart, he meant the 7 passions and the 6 desires, the core urges and emotions that shape our lives. This book explores the 7 fundamental emotions we carry from birth. Emotions are like currents of energy flowing within us. When you learn to live in harmony with them, you gain mastery over your own life. Understanding your emotions helps you speak about them more clearly, empathize with others, protect your own emotional well-being, and turn feelings into a powerful force for positive living. The author is Dr. V.C. Ray, a renowned psychiatrist in France and the United States, also known for his global bestseller, The Self-Healing Mind, and the charming tale Hector and the Search for Happiness. Today's book is co-authored with French psychologist Dr. Christopher. Now, let's explore these 7 basic emotions together and ask, is true calm the answer to every inner storm? The authors are about to reveal the truth. Is calm in the face of every storm truly a blessing? Imagine there were a pill called summer, one that grants you unshakable composure in any situation. No matter what trouble you face, your exterior remains perfectly serene, and you respond with the stillness of a placid lake, untouched by ordinary emotions. Isn't that the very medicine we seek for a peaceful mind and steady spirit? Would you take such a pill? But the author warns us, before you decide, consider the side effects. Without the stir of emotions, you grow indifferent to life itself. Unmoved, you no longer feel pain, and that numbness can lead you into harm's way or even endanger others. Your memory falters, your judgment weakens, you struggle to connect with those around you. Now, do you still want to swallow that pill? You'll see, emotions may bring suffering, but they also color our lives with meaning, forging deep bonds with others. In truth, emotions are our primal energy, our way of expressing and engaging with the world. We must learn to understand and manage them to harness their power. First, let's look at emotions as a whole. Each emotion has 3 core components: physiological, cognitive, and behavioral. They flow like a current, shifting us from calm to charged, raising blood pressure, quickening our heartbeat, drawing our breath short. Then they shape our thoughts. Anger narrows our vision to that which enrages us. Sadness can trap us in a fog of despair and breed negative thinking. Finally, emotions drive our reactions and actions. Now let's explore each of these fundamental emotions in turn. Anger. You've probably seen it before. When someone loses their temper, they explode, smashing things, slamming doors, even lashing out at others. Yet, I've also known people who swallow their anger, tucking it deep inside, never letting it show. Both extremes are a mistake. The right path is to face your anger head on, understand what it really is, and then deal with it. But to truly understand your anger, you must first ask yourself, why am I angry? The reasons may vary, but they boil down to a few key truths. You're angry because you didn't want that thing to happen. You're angry because someone else deliberately caused it. What set you off clashes with your personal values. And most importantly, you're angry because you believe you can control the situation and you've given yourself permission to feel anger. Imagine you're walking through the woods and suddenly face a tiger. Would you be angry? No. You'd feel fear because you know you can't control that situation. But if you were someone like the legendary hero Wu Song, who could channel his rage to overpower a tiger, you'd feel that anger as power. Think about the last time you snapped at someone. Deep down, you believed you could control them. No matter how harsh your words, they couldn't walk away. They couldn't truly hurt you. Remember though, no one is truly bound to you. Not a loved one, not a coworker. People who let you vent your anger are either genuinely devoted to you or they're afraid of you, and fear never breeds honesty or openness. Is that the kind of relationship you want for your whole life? The solution is to turn your gaze inward. The author offers this method for handling anger. First, learn to dialogue with yourself. Question your own beliefs. Ask, what belief makes me think others must behave exactly as I want? And is that belief really reasonable? Second, once you understand what's making you angry, work to lessen those triggers. For example, if a coworker constantly frustrates you, don't just stew in annoyance and note their flaws. Find ways to improve the situation. Change what you can in yourself to remove those irritations. Third, practice seeing things from the other person's perspective. In Buddhist teaching, every anger springs from the ego. I am most important. I deserve respect. The more you see yourself as special, the more reasons you'll find to be furious. But if you place yourself in their shoes and ask, why might they think this way? You may realize there's no need for anger after all. Fourth, avoid personal attacks. When anger flares, focus on the behavior, not the person. Instead of saying, why can't you ever get anything right? Try, this didn't turn out as expected. How could we improve it? Fifth, think twice before you react. When you're angry, don't rush to speak. Send a text or post online. Give yourself a moment to cool down. Likewise, don't make hasty promises when you're overly excited. Sixth, give the other person space to explain. They may not have meant any harm, and they might not have broken the rule that set you off. Seventh, walk away if you can't control yourself. When rage threatens to overwhelm you, the best move is to turn and leave. For instance, if you feel furious with your child, simply say, "Mom needs a moment to calm down," and step into another room. This pause can break the cycle and restore your control. Finally, learn to let go. Don't cling to every grievance. When you look back, you'll often see nothing was insurmountable or truly terrible. Acceptance naturally eases your anger. There is, however, a common pitfall. Many of us suppress anger too completely, holding on to beliefs like, I must always control my emotions. I must never hurt anyone's feelings, or I'll feel guilty. These ideas were often instilled in us as children. They keep us from expressing anger, but they lead to bitterness. As I shared in Truth Work, unexpressed anger can grow into serious psychological and physical ailments. The healthier approach is to replace I must always control my emotions, or I can only be angry with 100% justification with, when my anger is justified, it's valid, but I also have the right to make mistakes. And instead of thinking I must be liked or people won't accept me, remind yourself, I hope others accept me, but I don't have to please everyone. These are the steps for navigating anger, the first of the 7 core emotions we'll explore. Jealousy. Jealousy doesn't wear its feelings on its sleeve. You rarely see it in someone's face. It's an inner drama, a tearing sensation deep inside. Imagine you visit a classmate's home. You two came from similar backgrounds, and once upon a time you were the top student. Now their family is wealthy and secure. Outwardly, you're calm, like a still river. Yet inside you feel stirred and saddened. Many call this envy, but in psychology, it's jealousy. Here's the difference. Jealousy is fixated on another's happiness or wealth. Envy is the fear of losing what you already have. This book describes 3 common styles of jealousy. 1, depressive jealousy. You see someone else succeed and think, that good fortune will never come to me, and you retreat into yourself. 2, hostile jealousy. You wonder, who does that person think they are? And you start digging for faults, tarnishing their reputation. Number 3, admirative jealousy. You acknowledge their talent, they deserve that promotion, and you decide to work harder yourself. The healthy kind, admirative jealousy, can fuel your growth, bring only pain and harm. So how do you manage jealousy? Step 1, admit it openly. Say to yourself, or even out loud, I'm really jealous of your new home. It's exactly what I dreamed of. Just naming it can lift a weight off your chest and even open a conversation. Step 2, express it positively. Offer genuine congratulations. Buying a house is no small feat. This reflects years of your hard work, and I'm truly happy for you. Step 3, examine your beliefs. Ask yourself, do I feel inferior to them? Am I pressuring myself to be perfect? A fragile ego often fuels negative jealousy. Step 4, deny their superiority. Their success isn't meant to shame you, it belongs to them alone. The author reminds us, there's nothing in this world worth being jealous of, except one quality worth admiring, a person who creates their own happiness. Think of the street mechanic who finds joy in repairing cars because he loves his work. That's someone truly worthy of our respect and study. Turn jealousy into motivation to improve yourself, not as a measure against others. Joy. There's a special kind of smile called the Duchenne smile, named after the French doctor who discovered it. Did you know? Only a genuine Duchenne smile truly reflects happiness and radiance. It's when the muscles around your eyes contract naturally, lifting your whole face. Think back, how many times did you smile like that today? Joy has the greatest impact on our lives of all emotions. Why is that? Joy makes us generous. In a psychological study, participants who felt happy in a laboratory were later much more willing to give money to a person begging outside. Joy leads to generosity, and generosity in turn boosts joy even more. So give freely, and happiness will find its way back to you. Joy sparks creativity and better decisions. Not rash or thoughtless choices, but higher quality ones. Happy people take action with courage and care. They don't settle for dull tasks. They seek out challenges that excite them. Embrace the hard work. That's how you turn your job into a wellspring of joy. The author breaks happiness into 4 states along 2 axes. 1, excited joy from outside, delight, like being honored as a top student or winning a competition, common in youth. 2, excited joy from within, Aristotelian happiness, the deep fulfillment when your life's purpose unfolds, when you dedicate yourself and reach the peak of meaningful achievement. 3, quiet happiness from outside, contentment. Picture sitting in your garden with loved ones, sipping tea, watching children play, smiling in pure satisfaction. 4, calm happiness, serenity. When you understand life's impermanence, accept its ups and downs, and remain poised through every change. None of these states is better than the others. Each offers its own positive energy. How can you increase your happiness? Ask yourself, which form of joy is closest to my ideal? What was my happiest moment? What small joys have I overlooked? Keep questioning yourself so you stay on track. Pursue only what truly brings you joy, not every fleeting pleasure. As the author says, happy people aren't defined by perfect circumstances. They find joy in every situation. They know how to be content, stay grounded amid success and failure, and let go of the need for perfection. Sadness. In life, we all face days of deep sorrow. Someone may be criticized by their boss, another may lose a beloved pet, yet another may fall ill. Each of these experiences makes our hearts ache. What unites every form of sadness is loss. The loss of trust in a superior, the loss of a loyal dog, the loss of health and normal daily life, the loss of opportunity, the loss of one's own sense of purpose. Every loss brings grief. We crave joy and fear pain. Yet sadness is meant to teach us, to avoid repeating mistakes and blind spots in our actions, to reflect, uncover the values and lessons hidden behind our losses, to awaken compassion for others and the capacity to truly empathize. Sadness isn't as frightening as it seems. The real danger is if we stay trapped in pain, it will swallow us whole. So when grief becomes overwhelming, what can we do? Accept the pain. Those with deep spiritual faith learn to embrace and transcend suffering. They see grief as karma, as a necessary lesson, as a path they must walk. With this belief, it's easier to shift perspective. The pain becomes an experience that reveals its own value and wisdom. 2. Share your sorrow with someone you trust. Speak carefully. Resist the urge to replay the same sad story over and over. 3. Redirect your focus. Revisit activities you once loved. Seek out new experiences you've longed for. Pour your energy into these pursuits. They'll help lift you from the depths of sadness. 4. Seek professional support. If the first 3 steps aren't enough, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional. Sadness is an unavoidable part of being human, but you don't have to bear it alone. Accept it, share it, redirect your focus, and when you need to, lean on those who understand so you can ease your pain and keep moving forward. Shame. Shame is that painful feeling when you think you're inadequate, unworthy, or looked down upon by others. As adults, we sometimes forget how needless shame can be for children. I've seen teens embarrassed because their parents dress sloppily or drive a beat-up old car and quietly whisper, "Don't pick me up the school gate. Wait over there instead." Later, many regret those words. Why do we feel shame? Because we fall short of the community's unspoken rules. 1. Consistency. If everyone in your class rides a sleek scooter and you show up on a rusty old bike, you can't help but feel self-conscious. Mutual courtesy. Imagine moving into a dorm where everyone shares snacks. If you stay behind to eat a package from home, only to have your roommates return and catch you, your cheeks will burn with embarrassment. Social norms. Whether it's awkward first signs of puberty or arriving late to an event, we all have bodily moments that make us cringe. 4. Competitive pressure. When the whole group is praised and you're overlooked, that sting of shame can cut deep. Typically, shame shows itself in a reddening face, lowered eyes, and a bowed head. Its purpose is to nudge us toward better behavior and remind others to be forgiving. For instance, if you drop groceries in line at the supermarket, you could silently scoop them up and hold up everyone behind you. Or you could apologize profusely, frantically tidy up, and win the sympathy of those waiting. But excessive shame can isolate you. Teenagers who constantly slink away from social situations risk being sidelined completely. And some people, like survivors of abuse, carry shame they never deserved. Victims burdened by false stigma even when society says they're blameless. So how do we keep shame from turning toxic? 1. Speak it aloud. Simply naming your shame takes away its power. As French Nobel laureate Annie Ernaux said, "The worst part about shame is believing you're the only one who feels it when everyone else feels it too." Try reframing shame as gentle embarrassment, lighter and easily chased away with a smile. 2. Avoid shame mongers. Some people soothe their own fears by humiliating others. When you encounter them, recognize their insecurity for what it is, keep a respectful distance, and refuse to be their target. 3. Examine your inner rules. Ask yourself, am I demanding perfection of myself? Can I allow myself to make mistakes? Learn to turn self-doubt and shame into fuel for growth. If you want to explore these ideas further, how to transform shame and self-contempt into strengths, check out the book, What is the Meaning of Life, that I shared recently. Jealousy. Next, let's talk about the 6th core emotion, jealousy. In this book, jealousy is examined mostly in romantic relationships, love and marriage, what we commonly call being jealous. Jealousy arises when we feel our relationship is threatened in some way. It often signals a lack of self-confidence. When jealousy takes hold, it usually comes bundled with anger, fear, sadness, and sometimes even shame. It's a complex, often negative emotion, but it once played a vital role in early human society. When food was scarce, jealousy helped protect shared resources. A husband's jealousy kept other men at bay, ensuring his children were his own. Likewise, women used jealousy to guard the family's food supply. Even though modern life provides plenty to eat, we still feel jealous because we're wired to protect what makes us unique. Here are 3 hallmarks of excessive jealousy. 1. Constant surveillance of your partner. 2. Trying to limit their contact with others. 3. Belittling or hurting them to feel more secure. People who habitually act this way tend to carry very low emotional energy. So how do we manage jealousy? 1. Own the feeling and face it. Ask yourself, have I ever been hurt by a partner's betrayal? Have I felt sidelined by a parent's favoritism? Do I believe I'm not important or attractive enough to hold someone's heart? Where did this sense of unfairness come from? These questions invite deep reflection. If jealousy continues to harm you or your partner, consider seeking professional guidance. Nuns 2. Give your partner back their personal space. Stripping someone of freedom rarely solves the worry, it usually makes it worse. Jealousy is a natural reaction. Though it can undermine our confidence if we learn to acknowledge and manage it, jealousy can add a dash of spice, keeping life from feeling dull. Next, we'll explore the emotion we all try hardest to avoid: fear. Fear can arise from countless sources. Fear of animals, bugs, rats, snakes. Fear of heights or seeing blood to the point of fainting. Fear of public speaking or being in tight spaces like elevators. Fear of water, so intense that even waist-deep water makes you panic. All these fears tie back to danger, our primal instinct to stay alert and survive. But fear isn't only hardwired. We also pick up new fears over time. Fear of ghosts or spirits, cultural stories, children fearing their parents, students fearing teachers, employees fearing bosses, social roles. Fear of insecurity, fear of betrayal, fear of scarcity, false beliefs. Fear is an emotion that makes us uncomfortable and unhappy. None of us wants to live in constant anxiety, so how do we manage fear? 1. Acknowledge and express your fear. Don't hide it. When you truly feel afraid, honestly tell someone you trust that you need help. 2. Gather information. Take control by learning everything you can about what scares you. For example, if you fear traveling alone, research your itinerary, accommodations, and transport. Understanding the details will calm your mind and your fear will lose its power. 3. Relax your body. When panic strikes, your heart races. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Inhale, exhale. Repeat until your anxiety eases. 4. Confront fear in a controlled way. Face it courageously, but in small, manageable steps. If you fear crowds, start with a small group, then gradually increase the size. If you fear animals, approach them slowly under the guidance of someone you trust. These 7 emotions, anger, jealousy, joy, sadness, shame, envy, and fear, have all helped shape our growth. Whenever you identify an emotion's true cause, you can quietly tell your feelings, "I see you." By acknowledging them, you face them calmly, rather than letting them dictate your life. So don't cling to your emotions. Release negative energy in timely, healthy ways. Understand your emotions. Express your emotions. Resolve your emotions. This is the best path to accepting your imperfect self, because only imperfection is true perfection. May you and I learn to appreciate every emotion, love ourselves fully, and move forward with courage. Thank you for listening. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone who needs it. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss our latest videos each week. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.